All right, everyone. It is time for the Entropy Center by Perigon. I'm super excited for this run. Perigon, take it away.
Alright, hello, I'm Perigon. You can introduce yourself, Randomize.
I'm RanomisedTV. Perigon is the current no major glitches world record holder for the Entropy Center.
And
I am the current former world record holder of the any percent category.
Yep. I'm also
we don't talk about that.
Pretty much the only NMG runner. Pretty much why I have world record. But
they've come and gone.
But because this game's got like a minute cutscenes at the start, I'll just start it up now and explain how to go. So time will start in 3. If we're ready, time will start in 3, 2, 1. There.
Good luck.
Thank you. Basically, as I said, like a minute cutscenes at the start. You will notice that the good first half of this game is chock full of cutscenes that you can't do anything in. So yeah, we'll just explain what the game is, I guess. So, it is a puzzle game that you get to control time in with a little gun. And you just solve puzzles. I know there's a story, but I'm not really kept up with it. If you have any idea.
I know some of the story. I'm somewhat familiar with it. In the game, well, you'll see in a moment after this cutscene is over, that we're gonna wake up in a creepy abandoned facility, and we don't really know what's going on. And we have to make our way through the chambers, and we'll eventually find Astra. I'm not gonna spoil too much of it. I know it's really, really exciting stuff. So yeah, you'll see some of that later. But yeah, it's pretty inspired by. Okay, I should say definitely not inspired by Portal in no way at all.
No.
It's not at all like Portal. No similarities at all. But yeah. So this is a pretty recent game. It only came out like 6 months ago. It's hot off the presses, ready for speedrunners to break it, and break it we have. Especially in the any percent category, there's quite a lot of glitches that have been discovered not long after the game was released. And we're currently playing on, I believe, the oldest version of the game that was released.
Yeah, 1.07.
Mm-hmm. Because we have the speedrun community actually has a pretty close relationship with the creators of the game, specifically Dan, one of the main programmers and lead developers of the game. And this relationship is so special that he decided to patch out a bunch of skips that we found in some of the chambers. So that's why we're playing in the earliest version of the game. So just to make it a little bit faster, I believe playing on this version of the game saves around a minute overall on playing over the later versions. And here we meet E, our friendly fellow robot companion, who we will see many times later in the game. Maybe not for so long. We kind of skip some of those encounters. But
I
would too. I would too.
Is anyone there?
Who wouldn't?
I think that, yeah, there might be like 1 or 2 opportunities where we have to be with E, otherwise we just kind of like get past them, unfortunately.
Yep.
I'll make sure
that's just how it is in speedrunning, sadly. We have to save the frames, but lose some of those precious moments that we have with E. So it's a little bit of a trade-off, but yeah. In this room here with the Entropy device, there actually used to be a skip that you could do, where you could jump over the wall in the demo of the game, but unfortunately that's patched out, so we have to wait for this whole cutscene to play out, unfortunately. And here we meet Astra. Yep. Our trusty rewind gun robot companion. A friendly face who will pretty much never stop talking throughout the run. The dialogue is... There's quite a lot of dialogue in this game, and for a lot of levels, we get to the end. So before the dialogue finishes, so it's just skipped over. But that's just how it is. in speedrunning, I guess. And there we go. The first rewind of the run. Pretty good. And now a second rewind. Rewind the stairs, go up there. And now a third rewind to rewind the bridge.
Where is everyone?
First that was just
My oh my.
everything.
Yeah, just introducing the rewind mechanics. You're able to rewind all these pieces of rubble back up to where they once were.
Difficulties. It looks like no one's been here in
You can
years.
come down here and see how the facility's all overgrown
Anyway,
and broken in a lot of places, which is, you know, not really ideal. Probably many OSHA violations that have been committed right here.
okay, Astra.
True. I think the human rights violations of this facility is more of an issue, but you got a point with the OSHA violations too.
I mean, we gotta set our priorities straight.
Of course.
And
Okay.
yeah, so there's quite a lot of walking in this first act before we can actually get to the real meat of the game, get to the puzzles. Let's get to the fun part. And there's even a skip in this chapter that we do.
Thanks, Astra. That wasn't
But,
intended.
you
Yes,
know,
there is.
hold your breath. We're not getting there just yet. Okay, here we are. Finally, the first puzzle. Let's see. Can you solve it? This one's a real brain
Maybe.
teaser. Ooh.
There we go.
Okay, cube on one button, and now, rewinding it onto the other button to open the door. Truly magnificent solution.
Oh, nice.
And now this is 3 doors that we have to get through. Not just one, not just 2, but 3.
Oh my. Okay. Oops. I
Oh
can't
my.
figure out 3 doors.
Oh no.
Too much for me.
Oh, it's
Damn.
okay. Because we have the ability to rewind time. And we can rewind our mistakes. Oh, and
Something.
Exactly.
just pretend you didn't see any of them.
Yeah, just cut it out.
Yeah, just, you know, just rewind the entire stream.
Yeah, easy.
Hello? Anyone?
But
And-
there's a smooth cycle there, but all is fine.
Still doing pretty well.
I got it.
Ooh, nice. That was a good jump onto that platform.
Yeah.
And now coming up here is going to be our first actual skip that we do in the run.
First interesting
This is
part.
Silo skip. Yeah, this was discovered quite early on in the speedrunning history of the game. So usually you're supposed to ride this tram all the way to the end, but it's rather slow, so we just jump over it and walk across this beam instead.
43%?
And that saves quite a bit of time. There's going to be a lot of obstacles that try and fall down and crush us, but we're moving fast enough where they're not really much of a worry. So, you know, there's all sorts of destruction happening behind us, but it's alright. And then we quit to menu and continue there to save just a little bit of time. It puts us slightly further ahead because of the checkpoints quite far back there. And then, there we go. We use that, we rewind that, like, truss up there, and that helps us skip over a large portion of the catwalk that is all windy, and you have to rewind an electrical box. It's really annoying. That just skips all that. And there we go. That's pretty much Act 1 complete.
Next time,
Yeah,
maybe give a little warning.
Good job. That was pretty good.
thank you.
And, you know, just 14 more to go.
Yeah.
Has to be some
A lot of the next ones are a lot shorter than this one. I think this is like
Yeah, Act 1 is one of the longer. Act 1 is one of the longer acts in the game. Because it has a lot of walking. It's not that exciting. The other ones will be a little bit more interesting, I promise. Act 2 is much shorter. At least, if you do a good speedrun of it, that is.
As long as I make no mistakes, it should be pretty fast.
Yeah,
Oh, it's the
this one's pretty short. So we have to take this electrical panel. You'll become very familiar with these. Take them into this slot on the door and rewind them to fix them, and it opens the door.
Puzzle element introduction.
And now we've been introduced to a new puzzle element, time gates, which you can't take cubes through, which is a little bit annoying. They're like
Not take Entropy cubes
fizzlers from Portal.
They will get incinerated.
Not Portal,
And
they're
also,
not the same.
when you... oh yeah, sorry, not inspired by Portal, sorry.
What was that?
And also, when you pass through them, it will delete all the rewind history from the cubes that you've placed before. So you have to be a bit careful.
Withholding information due to high levels of
This
detectable
chamber's
anxiety
pretty
and
easy.
stress in puzzle
Just have
objects.
to rewind that cube onto this button to move the elevator up.
Yeah.
Almost forgot your cube there.
Directive. Head to the control room.
There we go. And then in this puzzle, we can do kind of a skip. There's a little oversight in this room, where on the first version of the game, there's a button here to open this final door, but actually we don't need that at all. We can just walk right through it.
I have to warn you,
Yep.
this puzzle has a high percentage
No
of
need.
A little bit of an oversight in that room. That was fixed in later versions, but in the first version, you can just walk right through it.
that, it goes
Like, no buttons there.
against my programming. And obviously no entropy energy would be
Bad,
generated
bro.
if you knew the solution, of course. Yeah.
This one's pretty easy. Oh, nice.
Ooh, that was close.
You completed it in a below
Yeah.
average speed.
Really put it to the wire there.
Detecting excessive amounts of
I was a bit nervous actually. I didn't know
Do you need a
didn't know if I was gonna make it or not.
I'm good.
I mean, I could have just rewound it if it fell. Fine.
Some of these strats aren't as familiar to me because I run the any percent category, which is surprisingly different from the no major glitches category. There's quite a lot of glitches in this game, so there's
Ooh,
a lot
wow.
of stuff that we can
Show off.
cheese.
That was
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, and there we go. Act 2. Pretty much flawless.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but in any percent, you can actually bring those cubes through the barriers, right? Through the lasers.
Yes, you can. At any percent, we use a little something called the print screen key on your keyboard to make the game lag out, and you can pass cubes through the time gates.
Shout out to Unreal Engine.
That's you, Arya.
Yeah.
Fanboy says we should go to the main deck.
Oh, that's lovely.
Thanks, Unreal, for making our speedruns really interesting. Oh no!
That's amazing.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Sort of bit too
Oh
close.
man.
And dropped metal on my head.
Yeah, not so ideal.
There are worse places to die, though.
That's you,
This
Arya.
game's chuck.
That is very true.
Says we should go to the main deck.
It's a bit
Oh
iffy.
man.
Major walking
wasn't so
sections
bad.
and a single checkpoint. Later on.
I've had times where I've died right at the end of the speedrun and lost about 3 minutes, so you know,
Mm.
it's a little bit soul crushing.
Jump cubes. Stand on jump cube to launch
Oh,
yourself
and
up.
here's another fun puzzle element that we get introduced to:
I forgot
jump
about
cubes.
Shortcut or something we could take. The whole center is made
Oh,
of
no.
hilarious. Trust me.
Yeah,
This
but
is the
these
fastest route.
you are basically little trampolines that you can move around. Whenever you jump on top of them, you get boosted up.
I am authorized for you to
And
complete our
we can
new
abuse these quite a lot in any percent. We can also abuse them in no major glitches, to some extent though,
question.
as you'll probably see later.
27, I think. Wow, you look
This chamber's pretty quick. You just throw it down there, and as you're rewinding it, walk through the door just before it closes.
There is a cooler route for that room, but it's also incredibly risky. I
Oh
think
yeah,
I've hit-
there's a route where you can jump off the top of the staircase onto the jump cube, but it's a really tricky jump. It saves just a little bit of time. And here we see another technique being used, where you can rewind the jump cubes to get a little bit extra height off of them.
Ooh, oh.
And this is another really cool technique, where you can bounce one jump cube off the other, and cause them both to fly into the air, which makes this
I'm
room really
mesmerized
quick.
by that.
Yeah, that's a really satisfying part of the run. if it goes well.
I think we're going into the longest string of cutscenes. It's like
One of them.
20 seconds, and then a little bit of gameplay, and then 2 minutes of cutscenes. So,
Yeah, pretty much. So we come in here, and oh no, we're about to see something terrible. There's the Earth. But what's gonna happen to it?
no.
Oh no!
It's gone.
There it goes. Yeah.
Unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. This will probably have an adverse effect on the economy.
Probably.
So, yep, the world is unfortunately ending, but not to worry. We can just rewind it.
Exactly.
We just
Oh,
have to activate this device right here, and all will be lovely and fine.
With our big Entropy gun.
Yeah, we have a huge entropy device over there. It's gonna point up and rewind the Earth, and then everything will be fine. As long as they just, just don't blow it up again.
And they would never blow it up again.
No, I mean, humans have been known to learn from their mistakes.
Exactly.
Of course, of course. There goes HBO.
Oh no!
Here you go. The 2 minutes of cutscenes.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
So that's a pretty long section, unfortunately. At any percent, we could do some out-of-bounds shenanigans to skip over this part, and no major glitches. Unfortunately, no major skip has been found yet.
Randomize, the more you talk about any percent, the more you just make me want to run it.
Hey, feel free.
I want to, I really do. But you mind if I cut in with like a blurb or two while we're doing this?
Hey, no
Go
problem.
ahead.
Wonderful. Remember, y'all, if you're looking to donate, make sure to type !donate in chat, and you get some links to our Tiltify page where you can make a direct donation to Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center straight through there. We have amazing incentives and bid wars to choose from, including tomorrow we're gonna have Earthbound Randomizer as our opening run. You can upgrade to complete 6 sanctuaries, adding around 20 minutes of content to the run. We're currently $25 out of $75 for that. And we also have the Cursed Crackers, For Whom the Bell Tolls bonus Bonnie Bania run, around 10 minutes, $50 for that, and the Glitch Exhibition for East 8, Lacrimosa of Dana, around $50 for that as well. And speaking of Glitch Exhibitions, if you want more of this run right now, we are around $45 away from hitting the any percent Glitch Exhibition for the Entropy Center. So if you really want more of this game, and I know I do, you should get those donations in.
I'm fine. I'm just taking.
Yep.
So.
Trust me, there's a lot of glitches in this game. It's pretty broken.
And then what?
Yeah, just a little bit.
There's a lot of tech that we've been able to find that we just have no use for because it's so broken and it's such a specific way that it's not really useful anywhere. Yeah, and then there's another minute of cutscene after you launch Act 4.
A wall. Whoa.
Yeah.
No way.
I have one of those.
I thought that's what we were doing. I think I
Finally get back to the gameplay.
Directive. Try rewinding the lift.
And now we get to rewind our biggest object yet, an entire elevator.
Notice how he said biggest object yet.
There's still more to come. Hey, we're only like a quarter into the run so far. Even less, like a
Yeah.
1/5 into the run. I mean, even less than that, probably. I don't know my percentages very well.
Yeah, no. I don't even know the split, so I
We're
can
some
estimate.
portion into the run that's like not very much, is what I'm trying to get across here. Act 4 is pretty short, I believe. There's not that much we can do. Most of these chambers we can just walk right to the end of. you'll notice that most of these puzzles, we don't actually do them. We kind of just skip the puzzle and just go straight to the end. And that's a recurring theme in this game, especially in the later levels. This fence jump is a little bit tricky.
What is...
Yeah. It's sometimes really annoying. You have to jump off a very specific part of this fence. Otherwise you won't get up.
There we go. I have to hit
Nice.
that in the flow. Otherwise, it's just so much harder.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you can just go in and get it first try, it feels so good. And it's so satisfying, and then the rest of your Act 4 will be beautiful with no mistakes. Or at least that would be what would happen in an ideal world. But this act doesn't have that much interesting tech. You can just kind of walk across that wall. It barely juts out. And then in this next chamber, we can jump on some barrels to launch across right to the exit.
Or miss.
Oh no!
I have, like, weirdly bad luck with this room. Like, usually I have to do a setup for this catapult, otherwise I either miss the cube, or I get a really weird bounce off it that just kills my momentum, and I have no idea why.
Yeah. They did change the jump cube physics between this version and all subsequent versions, which can help us do some pretty wacky stuff in the 80% run. But it's a little bit weird switching between versions and having to go back to these jump cubes. Yep, and in this one we can jump over, hit the button, and the jump cube can barely make it across in time before it gets fizzled. And sometimes it'll even land straight on the button to the door, which is really satisfying. And in this final room, we can just use the jump cube and pretty much just skip whatever is on there on the right. We don't even think about it. We don't want to see what all those puzzle shenanigans over there are. We just want to go right to the end.
Why would you solve the puzzles in a puzzle game?
Yeah. Well, the way that this game, the plot of this game is that by solving these puzzles, we're using our brain power, and that's generating entropy energy for the energy center to help rewind things. And so we're trying to generate this entropy energy to build up enough energy to rewind the Earth. That's our goal. But in this speedrun, we kind of already know the solutions, so how we're generating this entropy energy is a little bit dubious. This is almost like the bad ending to the game, I guess.
Bit of a long one. This one has a cool 90% rail, I do know that.
Oh yeah, this
Do you have a
one
button?
we can use a trick to instantly rewind a cube. It's not used in very many places, but it can be used in a couple places.
Okay, what's going on? Why?
Also, another interesting thing about this room is that in the game there's 76 pieces of intel that give you little snippets of plots and what it's like to be a member of the Entropy Center working here. Oh yeah, did I mention we're on the moon? I don't know if I mentioned that. But in that room, by the way, there's a piece of intel that was locked behind a door by accident. The door wasn't supposed to be locked, and the intel was just made completely inaccessible, which made some people a little bit angry because there's an achievement for getting every piece of intel in the game, making that achievement effectively impossible. But the speedrun community actually found a way to clip into that room with a cube and some rewind shenanigans, making people who had that achievement before the game was updated some kind of special club who managed to clip in there. This room, we can use one of these cubes, and we hold it over the edge of these stairs here. There's a button underneath this bridge that we need to hit. And if we rewind it to that point, it'll bounce off the stairs and hit the button, ideally, opening the door. There's a lot of these sections in between the puzzles as well, where there's something that collapses and you have to rewind it. This is a... Oh. Okay, I got a little bit worried there. falling down there is not fun. Getting back up on that pillar can be a little bit difficult and awkward if you've not really practiced it.
Doing so increases muscle use, which in turn increases body temperature, creating a healthy and regulated lifestyle for the feline. It is also widely speculated.
And again here, we just kind of skip all the puzzle and walk along this pipe right to the end.
Yeah. See that,
A
like,
bridge
lot
in
of us
that
will do-
room. A lot of the solutions to these puzzles involve jump cubes. If there's a jump cube in this room, then you know that we're gonna bound to be able to abuse it in some way or another.
Air jump to the end, or whatever you call the mid-air jump, what you call it.
I call it a double jump. I don't know if that's the correct term. This game is still pretty new, so a lot of the terms we just kind of come up with and then forget.
I just know what the strat is, not its name.
And that's all you need to know, I guess.
This
Exactly.
will take us towards the reactor. Maybe those switches can activate it.
And in this final room, there's a big puzzle that we're supposed to solve. It involved dropping these containers. Arya really gets annoyed at us when we do that because we're damaging the facility. But luckily, we can keep the facility perfectly intact by just jumping on these chairs here and getting around to the side of the elevator, and we can just barely activate the trigger. And the game will think we're in the elevator, and it will go on its merry way. And we can even actually, we can even get back in the elevator by clipping from below, as if nothing happened at all.
That's
Yeah, it's a
beautiful.
bit of weird momentum.
You don't even need to do that, that's just completely optional. Oh yeah, the momentum's also really weird when you're inside a moving vehicle.
You missed.
Slowly snowballs
Is
if
you-
you jump.
Yeah,
I don't even think we necessarily even use in the speedrun, besides in like the start of 10. Off the top of my
Wait.
head.
I just like to jump around in the platform when it's moving because you go all fast and it's really funny and you go wee!
Note. Locked door.
Yeah, and there's a lot of electrical panels in this room. So we have to try and rewind all of those to unlock more electrical panels that we can use to unlock the door. This room has been the bane of the minimum rewinds challenge for a long time, as we have to do 7 total rewinds just to get to the puzzle area.
Get a good
It's
throw. That's
not
bad.
ideal. And you can throw that down the hill, and sometimes it'll get to the bottom. But physics in this game is a little bit wonky sometimes. There you go. Nice little toss in there. You can come in here, get the second electrical panel, and then we can finally move on to the puzzle areas.
And move on to the bridge cubes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. This is the first area where we get to have a look at the bridge cubes,
Bridge cube. Place bridge cube in stationary
which are exactly what you'd expect. It's a cube with a bridge.
Bridge cube,
These bridges can be a little bit stubborn sometimes. They only extend if they're on flat or mostly flat ground. So if you try and angle them on a slope, they will not want to budge. And we can do some shenanigans here.
May have
To get
looked like I made a
around.
mistake, but
Well, guess we'll see. Nope, I think you're good.
yep.
There you go. Yeah. Oh no!
I know the backup is fine. It might take me a couple of attempts though, because it sucks. There we go. Oh, that's too low now. Oh, this is bad.
Oh no.
I'm just gonna do this. Or not.
This
Oh
is
my
quite
God.
interesting for me as well, because I don't know the No Major Glitches route for this chapter specifically. And I'm actually going to get to see some chambers that I don't usually get to see, because in the 90% category, we skip over a lot of the final chambers of this act specifically. So I'll finally get to see what they look like in a speedrun.
They aren't that interesting, unfortunately.
These are
Same stuff of just
Still need to see, I suppose.
members and keep the center running smoothly.
He seems a little one-track minded.
Yep, and again, if there's a jump cube in a level, it's pretty broken.
You did that puzzle so quickly, you could enter the Entropy Center.
This one I don't believe has one, so it's a bit of a cool solution.
I can tell when you're lying, Astra.
Oh
That was
yeah,
patched out
this
in
is one of
1.11.
the solutions. Yeah, this is one of the solutions that got patched out in the newer updates of the game. Just make that jump down. Oh no,
I never missed that. What is going on?
it's
Played in
because
3
you're
days.
marathon running, I guess. Marathon luck. Happens to
Yeah,
all of
that's
us. Nice.
Geeky must have gotten stuck or something. They're fine.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to be able to do that. You're supposed to drop the cube down there, then walk all the way around, do some other stuff. I don't know.
Anything else?
No, nor do I. I don't remember the intended solution.
It's been so long since I've played this game normally.
The center is threatened.
I've forgotten how to do any of the intended solutions.
Yeah,
Then
no.
there would be no way to rewind time, and Earth would be lost forever.
Cool jump
How do
there.
we stop it?
We head as fast as we can to the power
Sometimes you can jump over that ledge and fall down this hole quicker, but
Oh really?
it's...
I didn't actually
yeah,
know that.
I think I've hit it like once, and I haven't been able to replicate it, but
Oh
I know
wow.
it's possible.
Well, any aspiring speedrunners out there, go do it. Find a consistent setup. Yeah.
Yeah. Talking to the person in the chat who really wants to speedrun this game.
Oh, I mean, I wasn't mentioning anyone particular, but like, if you wanted to.
silo via stairwell.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff you can do in this room, like we saw in Act 1, where you rewind the girder to get all the way to the top quicker.
Good.
That was nice.
Silo movement is very fun, but also incredibly easy to mess up. Because with how slopes work
One
in this game,
misstep.
yeah, sometimes
Yeah,
it'll just
slopes.
glide you into the void, or into the water, I think.
Mhm.
Well done, and thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a particularly tough section to mess up, as it can lose quite a bit of time. Having to slide all the way back down to the bottom. As water will kill you in this game.
Yeah. Just
Arya
instantly.
apparently does not know how to swim. If one single drop of water enters her lungs, she is done.
Detecting breach in puzzle
Yeah.
area 0701.
Which
Recommendation.
starts to become a
Leave
problem in
puzzle
Act
area
7,
behind quicker
where there's a lot of it.
power reactor. We have
Yep.
been directed off course slightly.
That's the gimmick for this level.
Rules?
Is water.
You sure you're okay with that, Astra?
Whoa.
Yes, it is okay, given the circumstances.
I know the 90% route for this one's also pretty cool.
It wasn't for
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and pretty much to the end of the level.
the world.
We skip over pretty much everything except for the last chamber in the 90% route. I think this is probably the single act that has the biggest difference between the 90% and no major glitches route. There's E
Hello,
there.
Nice to see you again.
Although-
Although we have to run by.
Yeah, we're in a little bit of a hurry right now, E. The Earth is exploding, so you know, I mean, like, we'd love to talk, but kind of in a rush.
You skipped like a whole cutscene there. That was great.
Yeah, you usually have to wait for E to destroy one of the pillars so you can rewind it and get to the other side, but if we take the jump cube with us, we can just jump right over.
Entropy Museum.
This place has
And we skipped another whole puzzle there that involved a bridge cube by jumping up that ledge there.
History of the center. And it's
And now we get to enter the Entropy Museum.
I detect
And this is somewhat new to me, because we don't really go here in the 90% route. I haven't gone here since my first playthrough, I think.
Okay,
Act 7 has had a lot of,
just this once.
has had a pretty crazy evolution of routes in the 90% route. First of all, we managed to skip the museum, and then second of all, we managed to skip everything else. So that was pretty fun to watch it
That's it.
unfold.
I'd say the accent
And that was-
pretty cool.
Yeah, and that was discovered not long after the game was out. That was one of the first things we discovered. One of the first major skips. So it's pretty cool.
What's happening now?
Jump across those chairs there to show off if you like.
Now we get to meet the other entry bots, like E.
Yeah,
Except
they're
They're not
like
as
E's
nice as E.
brothers.
Fix this?
Yeah, they're a little bit meaner to
Maybe
us.
Entropy worker bot in the vicinity.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah, I'd say trying to murder you is a little bit meaner, you know?
There.
Yeah,
just slightly.
it's. I don't think I would befriend someone who was trying to murder me
makes two of us.
personally. So, yeah,
Astra?
the entropy center is malfunctioning a little bit after years of dormancy, and these entropy bots don't seem to take too kindly to seeing a human
Angry Entropy bot.
after such a long period of time.
get here flawlessly. You can
But
take
it's okay, because we have our rewind gun to protect us from these bots. These bots aren't too much of a threat in the speedrun, and more of just an annoyance. As if they try and shoot at you and you don't rewind it, then it can knock you off course, maybe knock you out off the level if you're trying to do some crazy strat.
there is
Although
one
sometimes-
useful one though, right here.
Oh, there is, yeah.
My damage boost.
Because these projectiles will give you a little speed boost if they hit you from behind, which is sometimes quite beneficial, like that. Wow, nice one.
Yeah, I have a little
Right on
setup for
cue.
that one. Finally,
New
back
puzzle
into the
element
puzzles.
introduction.
With
River.
Yes,
Place Entropy
this is what we're here for.
for it to travel
Instantly
downstream.
solving puzzles that should
Not
take
itself in
5
reverse
minutes
unless
in
intention is
real
to drown.
gameplay.
I think one of these puzzles took me like a genuine like hour and a half to solve.
Oh
'Cause
wow.
I, just could not I couldn't figure out the intended solution and went for the stupidest strat possible here. Where you like jump and throw something and bounce and then rewind, and I don't remember, it was a pain. And then it wasn't even the speedrun route, so it was for nothing.
Yeah. When I first played through this game, I did enjoy trying to cheese some of the puzzles. I didn't cheese very many of them, but some of them I managed to cheese, and it was quite satisfying.
I think this is one of my favorites of Act 7. Little redirection
Oh,
with the
yeah.
cube.
I got sand in my shoe.
Yep, there's a little tech here where you can take this cube and
Even some flip-flops.
it'll kind of bump you a little bit when you're jumping off of the launch pad, and we can use that to get over this wall here
Okay, well that's not gonna.
and right to the end of the level.
Okay. Appropriate footwear at all times. Got it.
That looks good. Like that, there we go. And
Yeah,
if we preserve
nice.
that cube. That is bad. That is very bad.
Oh no!
Is that going to trigger the cutscene with the branch? No, okay, we're good still.
Okay,
Yeah, there we
thank goodness. Yeah, just rewind it. It never happened.
No, never.
Yeah, so you can take the cube with you just after you bounce. It's kind of tight timing. But if you fail that, there is another cube, but you have to walk a little bit to get to it. So ideally,
Wait, are
you
you
want to
supposed
take the
to-
cube with you.
Are you supposed to rewind the branch in casually?
Yes,
Yes.
but you skip the trigger that makes it
Oh.
move.
Oh, I didn't do that. I just yeeted the cube until it hit the button.
Oh, I mean, I guess that works as well. I suppose.
I did not know you could just hit the button there. You could rewind the branch.
Alright, well, good job.
This part sucks. Trying to get this bridge cube to work with you. There you go.
Yeah, these bridge cubes can be a little fiddly because like I said before, they have a very strict set of rules as to when their bridge will extend. And one of the rules is making sure it's flat enough on the ground. And you can tilt it slightly, but if you try tilting it too much, then it just will refuse to extend. Which is a little bit annoying, but that's a pretty cool strat. There's also a really even more annoying strat where you can angle the cube off the couches at the beginning, but it takes forever to try and get that one. I've only been able to get it a few times.
But once again, a nice long cutscene.
Yep.
This
There
is
is
another one
quite a
that
bit of
skips.
cutscenes.
This is my favorite.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it does love its story sometimes.
Damn. How dare they try and make an interesting story with their game? Unbelievable. Truly despicable.
There was a group of them. You need to pay more
Oh
attention.
yeah, I think this is one you also skip in any percent. Pretty much from
Not this
here to the end.
cutscene. Oh, this
Well,
act,
not this
yes.
cutscene, but yeah, this act, not the cutscene.
We can skip right from here to the second to last chamber. So I haven't seen some of these chambers in a while as well. In any percent X, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 all have pretty major skips that save at least a minute. Although 4 and 5 are pretty hard to do, and have currently only been done in ILs rather than full game runs.
Entering puzzle 0802, there is one bridge cube and one
Lasers when you also rewind them sometimes don't like to go back to their original positions that you froze them at. So for that one you have to make sure it's at the very top of the receptacle, otherwise
Yeah,
it just won't actually reach where it was before. Actually we did, but it's not really a problem in too many places, but there are a few where it can scare
it's just a
you.
little bit annoying sometimes when you do hit the laser, then reset it, then rewind it, and it doesn't go all the way up. You got it there, so that's fine. Oh yeah, and there's this section as well, which I completely forgot about too.
Yeah, this is the worst lockdown in my opinion. I have been triple comboed by their bullet points,
Oh wow.
where you'll get like hit by their bullet into the platform, get hit by another bullet into the other platform, and then get hit by another bullet, and you have pretty much nothing to defend yourself with.
So this is a D tier.
Yeah,
part of the
absolutely.
game, you think?
Yeah, no, it sucks. I hate it. I got it pretty clean there, but it can screw you over pretty bad.
Yep, and we got a nice laser pointer to tell us where to go.
So we don't forget, we have to walk forward.
Earlier there was a red one. What's with the fresh paint job?
Yeah, I mean, can be a little bit tricky sometimes.
They are brought out in exceptional circumstances of severe civil unrest or security requirements. They've only been deployed once.
Yeah, and there you can move things while inside the time gate, and then the rewinds will still be preserved. It only deletes your rewinds when you step into the time gate. So whilst you're inside it, you can move things around no problem. There's another one where having a jump cube really helps out. Although this one's a little bit trickier because the platform we're trying to reach is quite high up.
You should have to do a double air jump.
There you go. You did it pretty damn well there.
I'm pretty hard to get good at, but I think I'm pretty consistent with it now. But
Yeah,
do
I would
remember,
not be able to do that on my first try.
I think I have old runs that took probably a minute to hit that.
Oh wow.
It's not nice. This one, I have a pretty cool solution where you almost store the momentum of the cube in a rewind.
Let's hurry. We can't let that reactor become too unstable.
Yes, because when you release a cube, the momentum the cube had before will remain, and it'll fly forwards after you unfreeze it. And then we launch this laser here, and then, oh yeah, you grab it there, and then you can have it fly up to you here. That's a really cool solution. I actually forgot
Yeah.
about that one.
It is a pretty cool one. I like it. Probably one of my favorites. unfortunately. Preceded by two of the worst chambers.
Yeah. Now we're in Act 9, which, again, has a nice long cutscene for us to watch at the beginning.
I wouldn't say it's not the worst. Like
It's not
20,
the worst,
25
it's-
seconds.
Yeah.
Recommendation. Run.
Pretty nice to us in comparison to some of the others they have.
It's pretty nice to have a cutscene every now and again. You know, stretch your hands, take a breather, take a nice sip of water.
Exactly.
Warning, you are surrounded.
Before we get right into Act 9.
Quickly, onto that platform.
You mind if I cut
We
in
have
with a good
these-
morning info about our incentives?
Hey, no
Yeah.
problem.
Is everything trying?
Yeah, so I just wanted to inform everyone about our incentives that are going up tonight. Currently, later tonight, we have the Forewarned bonus banishment level. For those that don't know, we have a bit of information about that from one of our runners. It's the other way to beat the game, the banishment. Makes us solve a puzzle and fight hordes of enemies to protect the ritual altar. We run with it with items required, with required items locked away until the Magi is active and is chasing us around trying to kill us. That's words exactly from the runner. Essentially, it's an alternative way of beating the game, and we're going to have a bonus content around 15 minutes worth. And so we're really close to that. Only got $20 off meeting that one. But of course, as I mentioned, we do have an any percent glitch exhibition incentive open for this very run. And so if you want to see all the glitches that are usually banned in this category, I'd highly recommend donating to get that met.
There are some pretty cool ones.
Can confirm. Got a bit disoriented there. You can kind of see what I mean by getting comboed of sorts.
Yeah, these
just-
bots are pretty much the only source of RNG in the run. So the way they move and whether or not they'll shoot you is completely random.
I don't usually have this much trouble with them though. That's quite unlucky.
Yeah, it's just marathon luck, I guess.
That's the last of them.
God, I don't want to do 13 then.
Yeah,
That'd be horrible. Although there are,
yeah.
you can skip most of them, thankfully. But we'll get to
There
that
are
when we're
ways to
there.
despawn some of the bots. We'll get to that later, though. Yeah, 13 is. I have a love-hate relationship with Act 13.
I have a hate-hate relationship with it. I just don't like it at all. Can I please? Thank you. Now I
Yeah,
can't.
this plant's really annoying to get up because obviously you're not supposed to get up here. So it's kind of slippery, and you can only jump if you're facing certain angles and certain positions. And, you know, it's just all around a little bit annoying. But once you get up here, you can just place this bridge cube there and walk straight to the end.
I think.
And this is
think
another
I-
one of the chapters where I haven't seen much of these chambers as well because we skip over some of them.
New
Right.
element introduction.
I need to skip chapter 9.
Rewind talk cube to restore its tall state.
Fair enough there. But yeah, I think this is where we get introduced to bridge tool cubes, which are the
Right,
one of the
tall
only
cubes.
Puzzle elements.
unrewindable objects. I mean,
Yeah.
you can, but you can't rewind their position. You can only rewind their height.
Yeah, you can't, like, with the other cubes, you can rewind them and it'll go along the trail that you took them across, but with the tall cubes, they only rewind to get uncrushed, which, when you're standing on top of them, lets you get to the top of places that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get up to. And here we can take this cube through this tiny little narrow slice here and just walk to the end.
That stays in the laser. Yep.
That was one of the other skips that was patched out in future versions. I say patched, it was semi-patched. You can still do it, it's just a bit harder.
One is up there with my least favorites is a bit of laser lag that I talked about earlier, where it doesn't go back to its original position, and it's also just a hard target to hit. And I have to jump around and hit it into that laser receptacle, and just hope that it goes. There we go. Hope it likes
Nice, you
you.
did that really well.
Yeah, that is probably the best I've ever done that chamber.
That's
Usually takes-
quite a precise chamber.
Yeah, it usually
To
takes me
run.
at least 1 or 2.
Why are
You nailed it.
music?
I detected decreased levels of motivation in Puzzle Operative.
I know another one of the only other NMG runners, Ostomate, is pretty good at that one.
I'm not a sunflower, Astra.
Although, I have no idea how she has it so consistent. From what I've seen, at least. But we got past it pretty clean, so it's not anything to worry about.
Disabling music.
This one is just a lot of going in circles. We go up to the end here, and then just back all the way around with a different cube. And then bring the other one back to us.
And this was another one of them, one of the skips that was kind of patched in the update as well. So you save time in this chamber by playing on the first version of the game.
Both cubes up here, we can just throw on the button.
And then there's one last puzzle to solve before this chapter's over. And there's quite a lot of these slow-moving lifts in this game, I'm now realizing. I never really thought about it until right now.
Yeah, I usually just like forget about them as well. They're only like a few seconds.
Recommendation. Take a run.
And
Bit
uh-oh,
more
now we're in the
possible.
section where all these bots are chasing us.
Except we just don't get chased by them. We fall into the water.
Oh no. Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, that's slopes for you. You
That
stand on one
trust
weirdly, and
moves.
it'll just throw you into the water.
Yep. It's okay. You didn't lose that much time.
I just have to do this one fast, otherwise I fall off. There we go.
Nicely done.
Sometimes it's harder with those rotating ones, because you have to stay right on the sort of tip. Otherwise you fall off one way. Again, also not the worst. Here we get
We
to...
can walk over to this section here where you're supposed to fall off a bridge and the ground is supposed to collapse, but we kind of skip that trigger by doing that little skip there.
Directive. Entropy transport system can be
and
activated.
just jump into the train like that.
And there you go.
There's a bit of a barrier stopping you, but you can kind of slip around the side. Still
Yeah,
going.
these invisible walls are in kind of a strange orientation there, so it's a little bit awkward to get in there sometimes. Yeah, and you can kind of play ping pong with those chairs, which I like to do sometimes.
We should be there soon.
They bounce you weirdly because of the way the train is moving.
Chapter 10, or Act 10, which is definitely my favourite. Just all the puzzles are just kind of fun. None of them are too painful. And it's like 4 minutes long, so it's just the perfect kind of act.
This one's quite a fun one to speedrun an IL for.
Wait right now. But thanks.
You're welcome.
I think they hit that little jump there over to the geometry, which
That can be... It's deceptively hard. Yeah, and you can get a lot of speed from these conveyors.
Okay. That's kind of bad, because I'm going to have to do that jump again. That's not too... Oh.
2 for 2?
Yep, 2 for 2.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Deceptively hard, but you do get
Yeah.
used to it.
And by jumping on the ground here, with the frame you land on it, you can preserve the momentum that you kept before, which allows you to build up speed like we see here with the conveyor belts. It's used a lot more in any percent than it is in no major glitches, but it's still useful in this section.
I think this actually introduces the conveyors. I don't remember.
Yep.
Oh, no, I don't remember.
This is the first chapter we see the conveyors in.
Oh, that's too early.
No, you're just giving the conveyor a little test run there, making sure it was working all right.
Yep, for sure.
You didn't want it to malfunction on you while you were riding across it.
Another pretty simple solution.
Note, conveyors can be used
Do an
to
air
increase
jump
your
and a
speed
double jump.
if you walk on them in the same direction
There's a lot of jump cubes in this chapter, thankfully.
As we said, where there's a jump cube, it's pretty much the same solution every time. Just sort of
Yep.
find the end button and double jump on it, and you should reach the end. Like that. And I think that's done twice more in this chapter.
Easy peasy.
So this one is a bit of a annoying one. I might actually do a safer strat for. Usually you don't. Oh shoot! Usually you don't stop that, but similar thing in Act 7, you can sort of bring that with you when you press the button. If you like, have it hit the button as you hit the catapult, and then grab it, you'll just bring it with you.
Yeah, and then you can just only just barely jump around that time gate there to avoid destroying the cube.
Okay. Another bit of an awkward jump. This is not the awkward part. This is the awkward part. Okay.
You can
Jump
just
around
barely
that.
walk on that fence there. There's a lot of these little thin protrusions from the walls that you can just barely walk on. And that's really helpful for not solving the puzzles correctly.
Here's the other one with double jump onto the button and to the end.
Yep, there it is.
That.
We claim our trusty jump cube, and now the puzzle is free.
Final puzzle, another pretty easy one. Just
Yeah, this
create
puzzle's
upgrades.
pretty confusing for casual runners, but luckily we can just walk right to the end.
And into, I think Act 11's also pretty easy from what I remember. Pretty short. I think the end's the only annoying part. Which is a nice lead up. 2 easy levels into 12 and 13. Which
Yep.
are not as nice. We will get to those eventually.
Yeah, it's really nice of the developers to put the harder acts towards the end of the game,
Away to the top floor.
just to kill your runs just a little bit more.
Again, I would say it's
Yeah.
good to see a familiar face, but I'll have the
Compared with possibly the worst checkpoints in 12, you can lose multiple minutes from just small or seemingly small mistakes.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, fellow friendly robot. Note, new route detected to reach top floor.
We'll have fun while we can in 11.
Yeah,
Some easier puzzles.
this chapter's nice and forgiving for the most part.
great. We've done a lot. Ow! What was that? Hurt.
Nothing too crazy.
Small static charge emitted to handle
Sort of
grip. Tiredness detected in puzzle operator.
Bringing it with us, do multiple
Static charge to awake feature can
double
not
jumps up to
disable.
the end.
All allocated puzzle exercises
I
must
think-
be completed during the working day.
No. What even is introduced in 11? Or is this where it ends? I don't remember.
Transformers.
Oh, yes. 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 I do remember now.
Before we get into that, do you mind if I read off one donation here?
Yeah.
No problem.
Wonderful. We have a $20 donation from Lunar that simply says, glitches smiley. And with that, that'll lead us around $34.30 to the Entropy Center any percent glitch exhibition, which means only around $25.70 left to get that met. We still have a good bit of this run, so I think we can do it.
Okay. I'll tell you if I start feeling.
Sweet.
Keep coming, guys.
With that one, you can basically give yourself the jump cube to cheese the puzzle, which is cool.
Yep. We get a choice of what cube we want. Always a jump cube.
Would you like to play some ping pong?
You don't have any arms.
I think.
And you can
Okay.
actually do a glitch off of those transformers. You might get to see if we meet the donation incentive, where we can actually duplicate cubes.
One here. Oh, that was too early. Shoot. Here we go. It's sort of. Oh. Hello. Thank you. Bring it through multiple trends.
Oh,
That's it. Forgot how to solve the puzzle. My bad. No, I didn't. What? Hold on. I've just forgotten. Give me a moment. I don't think I did anything wrong. World record holder right here, by the way.
yeah.
Oh no, it's because I rewind that. Oh. Yep.
Oh. I'm not too familiar with this chamber because we do it a completely different way in the any percent route.
Minor issue. But it's fine.
And this is supposed to be the easy chapter.
Oh, thank you. I think I shouldn't lose too much time though. Might have been like 30-40 seconds. But a 1 hour 50 estimate is more than enough to make a lot of mistakes.
Oh yeah.
And considering how
I believe you've
this game
improved
is-
significantly since that estimate was set.
I don't even remember when I said it, but probably said it before sub 140. When I had like 142.03 or something.
It's good to have a high estimate for this game though, because it can just sometimes just randomly decide it wants to crash, which is, you know,
Oh, yeah.
not that useful in a speedrun. So it's better to err on the side of caution.
I've had particularly bad luck with rewinds? Crashes recently.
Oh yeah.
There's a prior race having a triple crash. So, gotta hope we don't get more than one.
I mean,
Okay,
we're
Act 12.
most of the way through the run, so surely we can't get that many crashes.
Surely.
These are explosive cubes. These are not part
Here
of
is
the puzzle.
12,
on wood.
which
Most commonly used for demolition
is
purposes by
exactly
engineering
what I was talking about with terrible checkpoints. But this star is pretty free.
We get introduced to these explosive cubes that can destroy all sorts of terrain. They're not used very much, but we get to see them for a little while.
Use them really for the occasional speed boost more than anything.
Stay on high alert.
Yeah,
Here, you can use at least
you
one
do have
of
to be
these.
careful with that sometimes, though, as if you explode yourself too much, you die, which is not ideal in a speedrun.
No.
Mission granted.
And you only have like 2 hits or you're dead, so
The way that health works in this game is pretty strange. You get 2
Yeah.
hits, but if the 2 hits are like back-to-back consecutive, then you won't die. But if they're a little bit spaced apart, then you will die. It's a bit strange. But it does mean that you can't get killed instantly if you get hit lots of times in a row.
Entropy fans will create a wind vector away from its origin. Rewind entropy fans to reverse wind force and pull objects
should I do
towards them
1202?
instead.
Weird.
Additional note,
Or
entropy fans can be used
don't know if I'm too practiced with it. I might just do a save, unfortunately. There is a
For it
pretty
once.
cool dash shot.
Okay.
Although I can never get to it, that'd be
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah, this laser can be a little bit
There we
annoying
go.
because of how fast it moves.
Alright, so I'll go for the fast 1202 strat, which looks very cool, but is very, very hard. Where instead of solving the puzzle, we're basically just going to go straight to the end. And just pull ourselves with these fans directly to the end over there. Hopefully. Oh, okay, almost.
Ah,
Good attempt.
that
but,
jump's very
like,
tricky.
Yeah. I've spent... Sometimes you can spend 7 minutes, sometimes it can be first try. You never know. But... it's not something I'm willing to go for. Although, as a result,
Oh,
I have
wow.
to deal with this stupid catapult that I hate.
That was unfortunate.
It does not work. I don't get why, but it doesn't like doing what it's supposed to and putting the cube on the conveyor. So that's a little bit of extra time lost.
Yeah, the physics in this game can sometimes be cooperative and sometimes just completely mess you up.
Start rewinding that now, pull it back down, and just... Now, instead of the cube going round, we go round.
Yep. Now we get a ride.
You can start to see how much time that jump to the end would save over this route.
Oh yeah. That was only discovered pretty recently too.
Yeah, probably like... I actually don't know how long ago it was. Less
I think
than
it
a
was
month.
a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Around when the scroll hops were introduced.
Mm-hmm.
But bit of a slow chamber there, but that's sort of just what you get for doing 12. You're bound
Yep.
to make some minute-long mistake somewhere. I think I got incredibly lucky with my 12 in world record.
This chapter is no jump cubes, which is quite sad.
I think there is one, but it's
Oh yeah,
hardly
there
solve a
is
puzzle.
one.
You don't really have to do anything with it. You kind of just like jump off of it, and it plays the story for you. This one's another one that's actually patched in 1.11 for the route we
Oh
do.
yeah, so it is.
That feels definitely targeted towards speedrunners because there's no way this would be found otherwise.
Yeah, it's a
Cool.
really precise jump.
You can jump around like that. Oh.
Disengage the Entropy laser capacitor nodule. Pictured
Like
image
that,
20
there we go.
feet from the titanium
Nice.
rotation axle.
There is a massive grate that blocks off that jump in 1.11
Gonna die.
Yep.
for no
There is always
real reason.
I believe in you, Arya.
It is quite strange because the skips were patched, but only some of them. Not all of them.
Unsure. But have hope, Arya.
Some specific ones were patched.
Once you rewind Earth, you could safely return home if you so desired.
Thankfully I got a bit of a throw there.
What about you?
You don't have to land the cube on
I'm
that
not sure what
platform,
my
but
purpose is if there are no puzzles
obviously it
involved
saves a
in the game.
rewind if you
I guess
There's a
Roll it
little bit of
perfectly.
time.
see what exists outside the
and I can go for another throw that gets directly
Always
on that
helpful.
button.
Earth can be nice.
That
What I remember.
yeah, nice, okay.
I think
Start
I
this
would like
next
that.
section which moves that. What I'm actually
Nice.
gonna do is move it between the buttons. And then throw ourselves over, but just pause it for a second.
I'm getting
Get
dizzy
over.
looking at all that back and forth, seeing the buttons, seeing the box go from one button to the next.
It's just to make sure that you get onto that platform and it doesn't move too far away.
Yeah, that cube throw where it landed on the button basically just saved a bit of time of it moving closer to us. which is
Yeah,
always
because that
nice.
platform takes a little while to move all the way over.
Or spotted. Directive. Head to the
Yes.
control panel.
Besides 13, probably the most broken, skipped part of the game. We have to do a bit of moving first, but
Yep,
basically
we have
we're
a,
gonna get a
have a
massive
nice
cutscene.
skip here. Oh yeah, we actually get to skip one of the cutscenes for once. Finally.
Yes. Amazing. And it's kind of long as well, so even better.
So getting this is pretty important.
Here is also a part where I literally cannot screw up, or I lose, like, a minute. Because we skip hitting a checkpoint that's there, and that's pretty much the only checkpoint until the end of the level. So
Yep,
if I die,
so-
I'm going all the way back to that, like, the start of this entire area.
Fingers crossed.
I think I'll be fine. Very hard. Certainly. Oh, okay, I'm not going to say that, but
Don't
there
jinx
are a few
yourself.
ways you can die. That I think I'm practiced enough to avoid. We can line that up and jump on top. And there is a random trigger up the back here that will just end the level.
Yep.
Not sure why it's there particularly, but and the fact that it wasn't moved after 111, but it's there and we'll abuse it. And it's not really a glitch, because it's just kind of given to you. Walk around here and level done. And into I think the longest level, which is 13.
Oh yeah, this is definitely the longest level. For both any percent and no major glitches.
I think 15 might be close, but 13 is a very cycle-based level, where it'll just keep rewinding and unrewinding things.
Yeah, you'll notice that we don't have Astra anymore, which
Oh yeah.
you might be a little bit confused. It's because in the cutscene that we skipped, we rewind the Entropy device. Unfortunately, Astra risks her life and rewinds it for us, and she gets lost somewhere down here.
Somewhere.
So,
Going for a fast
unfortunately,
cycle.
because we kind of malfunctioned the Entropy device there a little bit, this whole place is rewinding itself every couple seconds.
Oh, that makes sense. I was wondering why it would just keep rewinding and going back, but I guess
Hey,
we
now
did
you know, there's E.
malfunction it. Oh yeah, there was E. Walked by E. Forgot to wave.
We walked
my bad.
past him.
Hey.
Okay. Yeah, that cycle is pretty hard to make. You gotta be pretty quick to be able to make it up onto that little ledge before it rewinds itself back up.
Through here. If you time that wrong, sometimes you'll just run into the wall and have to do a bit more again.
Yeah, a little bit annoying.
Can't remember where the checkpoint is though.
This chapter is also pretty similar between no major glitches and any percent, because there's only really one skip that we can do in no major glitches where we go out of bounds for a little, or sorry, in any percent where we go out of bounds for a little bit.
A lot
But,
of
there's
the
not-
start of this.
there's-
Yeah.
There's not much time we can really lose or save here because, you know, it's all cycle based. But there's a neat little skip that we can do coming up in this next area. I don't know if you're going to go for it or not. I assume
Oh yeah,
you
I'm
are?
definitely going for it.
Okay. It's a little bit tricky, but it can save 2 to 3 cycles, depending on if you do it really well or just well.
I did some practice before the run, so I
Nice.
think we're fine. Also, another E appearance. 2
Yep.
in 1 level.
He's on the
Pretty cool.
catwalk back there, cheering us on.
Jump onto that geometry with good timing, and then use the wire, and then jump across. That was clean. I like that.
Very nice. And you can make it to the end there just right as the staircase falls. Oh. That was
That
a
was
little
probably
risky
not-
strat there. You didn't even have to do that.
No, I
It's
didn't.
showing
I
off now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much coming up to the worst half of 13, where we have to deal with a barrage of bots
Yeah, and this
have to
time
deal with bot RNG.
we don't have our entropy device to rewind the bullets they shoot at us, so we have to
Gotta
just
pray.
avoid them and hope for the best. We
And
do
just, yeah,
get some
literally.
explosive cubes, but unfortunately they act differently in this chapter. And instead of exploding on contact, they have a timer now before they explode, making them a little bit harder to shoot bots with.
As you can see, we have 2 health, so 2
Ah,
hits and you
that's
have to
unfortunate.
reset.
Yeah, we just have to pray that the bots kind of pretend we don't exist for a few seconds so we can sneak by them. Ah,
And this is why. This is why it's the worst, because
yeah, this is some pretty bad RNG right here.
try and get a bit of a boost. Okay, oh! And sometimes you just don't get hit.
Yeah, sometimes they just miss.
Hey, how come you get the easy
It's
way?
completely up to RNG.
I can get a quick cycle here. And you can see here's the part where, like, if 2 hit you, you just, like, get 1 hit. They both hit me there, but I'm still alive, so...
Yeah, if they both hit you like one right after the other, then you won't die for some reason.
Bit of a waiting section. We just have to
Yeah.
wait for the cycles to let us go by.
And then we get to the computers.
Woohoo. Like, everyone better wait for the computers because it's the most interesting part of the game for sure. And not
Oh,
just
yeah.
mashing E simulator for 10 times in a row. Could not be that at all. So
That
where
final
I
pillar
did,
you can just go right around.
unfortunately, the only one you can skip because the catapult is a bit too far off to the left. But yeah, computer. So any plugs or donations or whatever is prime time now.
Yep.
Absolutely nothing happens.
I remember this part very specifically because I got creeped out by it the first time that I played it. And so I just want to inform people about the very event that they're watching right now, No Glitches Allowed. We are a charity event dedicated to speedruns with very few glitches or without glitches entirely. This includes no major glitches, glitchless, or any kind of run that doesn't have significant tricks or skips. Doesn't necessarily have to have those exact titles. If you're interested in getting involved or finding out more, make sure you join our Discord, !Discord in chat, or follow us on Twitter and get updates about future events. And we are always looking for volunteer applications before our events. They typically run alongside submissions and are announced on our Discord and Twitter as well. Keep an eye on those if you're interested in running in production, in tweeting about the event, or just hosting live on the mic like I'm doing right now. Even if you're just looking to volunteer for the first time, this is a very beginner-friendly marathon. We welcome newcomers with open arms. And of course, I also want to plug the incentive that we have open for this run right now, the 80% glitch exhibition. We're only around $25.70 away. That is not that much, and we can also make it to 600 by the end of this run. This will be 2 huge milestones that we get, and we can also extend the marathon by however long the glitch exhibition takes. And so I know I want to see those glitches, but I want to know if chat wants to see those glitches.
I'd love to see him.
I'd love to do them because I don't get to do them that often. But thankfully
Special
we're past
occasion.
that section now.
Yep. Past the computers and now into a very long cutscene.
Yes. Thankfully we passed one of my most notorious crash areas. Right at the end is where a double crash has happened for me.
Nice.
So we're past that, we should be fine.
Yeah, there's a couple locations that this game likes to crash specifically on for some reason. I think most of those crashes have been the game seems a lot more stable in the newer versions, but we're playing the first version ever released, so it's a little bit of glitchiness, a little bit of crashiness every now and again, a little bit of lag. It's just how it is. We get to see the Earth here in this
Not
trippy room.
exploded.
I really like this room. It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Mind if
I
chime in with one donation?
Of course.
Yeah, we have a $20 donation from Anonymous with no comment, but that donation did in fact get us towards the bonus banishment ritual level for Forewarned. That has now been met, so you're going to get
What's over there?
an extra
See
level
something?
for Forewarned tonight at our later on in our horror block. But we can still make more than that because we still have the any percent glitch exhibition at the end of this run that we need to meet. I'm really wanting to push for that, and just that donation alone will get us over $600 as well.
Nice.
Sweet.
And we do get a little bit of an E spotlight here.
Okay.
We get a nice long cutscene to admire E and all of its glory,
Okay, that works too.
where he just, breaks through the wall. Because why not?
Yeah, we're gonna go for some bot trigger skips to avoid having to deal with them. Like that, there we go. That means we can do a bit of
Nice.
stuff. That.
So you jumped around the trigger to spawn the bots here, and they're usually really annoying to get past because you have to destroy them with the explosive cubes that are on a timer. A little bit slow.
Oh! Huh? Hold on, am I stuck? No, okay, we're fine. But I'm about to die. Okay, we're fine.
Okay. That was a little bit scary.
See if I can get 2 in 1. How do you not die? What is this? Actual scam?
That bought us plot armor.
But yeah, I'm gonna take this safe. I'm going to run around here and try and hit a checkpoint. Because I'm gonna hit another bot trigger skip that makes the latter half a bit easier. If we use a boost to get around here, this final section, which is usually filled with bots, is just devoid of them, which makes bringing 2 bombs into here a lot easier.
Yeah, and now we've got a pretty important skip up here, which is Incinerator Skip, which skips a cutscene that's around 1 minute and 3 seconds long. So it's really important to get this. It saves a lot of time. No pressure.
Ah! Okay.
Ah,
Missed it there. I forgot to practice them, but
it's alright. But yeah, if you can... It's pretty difficult. I don't blame you. I struggled with it a lot as well. Where if you can boost yourself up to that top ledge with an explosive cube, you can skip having to pick up Astrink and just move on without her. We don't need her. But I guess we're gonna have to save her. You know.
Everything went dark.
little cutscene.
The next thing I remember, my
Although I think there's an
sister
E
Quick
appearance,
cutscene.
yeah.
Yep, we do get to see E a little bit here, so a little bit of extra E for the fans.
I can't quite explain it. I was just worried.
about me.
Totally intentional.
Something like that. You're pretty handy to
Kind
have
of
around,
broke
you
the
know?
cutscene a little bit. He's supposed to break this, but we've
Oh
kind of
yeah,
already
he's
done it.
supposed to break that bridge, but for some reason it's still destructible with an explosive cube,
All right, let's do it.
even if you're not in the cutscene, which is a little bit interesting. Not sure why that is, but it does let us do incinerator skip, so I'm not complaining.
Exactly. But into the final 2 levels now.
Yep, final stretch here.
Like, ignoring 16, but yeah, 2 actual
I mean,
levels.
okay, yeah.
Detecting route. We are 2 areas away from
16
the main
is
control deck. Now that the
a
reactor is
literal
stable,
walking
we just need to
simulator.
finish charging the entropy
Yeah.
cells and completing a few more
I
puzzles.
don't think you do anything but walk. So
I discovered a lot.
we'll just consider
Nope.
2 more levels.
Remember?
How interesting. Please elaborate.
I don't know.
She'll start by
It's the
cheesing a
first
little
time
bit.
we've been on this journey, Astra.
Using that bridge up, jump cubes just to skip. Using that.
14's a fun one. There's a lot of jump cubes in it. Which means we can do a lot of shenanigans.
Analyzing surface temperature.
Fortunately, not as many as any percent, but there's a few.
Celsius. You could cook an egg from
So there's a little bit of shenanigans,
Bit insensitive, Astra.
9 and 14 are probably the craziest routes for any percent, I'd say.
Bit of a walking section, unfortunately. With no jump cubes to have fun with.
It's
That
okay.
will be over soon.
Puzzle section, yeah, the puzzle section's just up there. So we will get to see our beloved jump cubes once again. Just up here.
Warning.
So close.
Puzzle exercises are rated extremely hard.
Here we
Sections
go.
1, 2, 3, 4, and
Back to
8
puzzles.
of the Entropy Center
Back to
are
puzzles.
destroyed and not
Most of which we don't do the intended way.
Okay then, let's do this.
Most
I
would be
think
just
there's
entirely
very few
skip.
puzzles. I think there's very few puzzles in this speedrun that we actually do the way that the developers intended.
Yeah, 'cause they're all very slow in comparison to what we can do. Oh, okay, good.
More cheese the better, I say.
Start. Does get a lot cooler later on. What's that? No, that's 15. I don't
Yeah.
remember
To
14.
inform you that your chance of survival is
Um,
20.
Well, I hope
mean, I
you
pro-
remember enough to be able to do the puzzles.
Not like I've forgotten the route, but I can't visualize the route in my head. Oh no, it is 14. Okay, never mind, I'm wrong.
14
either
and 15
14
are
or-
quite similar.
Doing a lot of running on walls. Get
They
to
look
the
quite
end.
similar. They both have similar puzzle mechanics.
Not trying to alarm you, but the center is 3 large shockwaves away from total annihilation.
Yes,
I
I
am
think they
detecting
stopped
extremely large
introducing new
fragments of
ones
collision
after
approaching the center.
13.
Recommendation? Speed.
It's
Yep.
just using what you already have.
You don't have legs. You don't understand.
Don't have legs.
Combine all
Oh.
of the puzzle elements together to make big super puzzles. I do feel like the puzzles are kind of cool, but I do feel like there's a lot more that you can do with the puzzles that wasn't really explored. But luckily now there's a level editor, so if you want to make your own levels, you can,
Yeah.
which is really exciting.
I haven't actually looked too much at the custom levels, other than just like the dev-built ones
Some of them are pretty cool.
later.
A lot of them are cheesable, as to be expected, because I don't think the average player knows much about the speedrun tech, but, you know.
Okay, so this is 14. I just totally forgot which one this was in. Oh, and I'm not gonna make it.
This
Um,
wall
hello?
can be a little bit stubborn.
It's not even the wall, it's just the jump keeps killing my momentum.
Oh,
That's so mean.
yeah, that is weird.
Huh. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna readjust it. There we go. I was hitting too far in the middle. I'm gonna take
Nice.
this very slow. Because this wall is very uncooperative sometimes. Got little,
Yeah, you can just slide off of it if you're not careful.
if you go too fast, those little weird bits of collision will just throw you off the wall and you have to run back around again.
Yeah.
But thankfully, we did it nice and clean. Hey. A bit of the cheese
I'm really starting to feel the heat from your earth now.
into.
I didn't want to say anything, but you've been sweating.
Actually, probably one of the more creative solutions to a puzzle, to be honest.
Yeah, I like this one.
Actually uses a lot of the elements that we're given.
Got a laser cube, tall cube, time gates, all sorts.
Whatever lets me get on the full cube. We still cheese it in multiple ways, but you know, still a pretty
Yeah.
cool puzzle. And it's a speedrun, what can you expect?
If we didn't cheese most of the solutions, I think we'd be failing our jobs.
That one with the receptacle. Climb up, and we're finally
Yeah,
done.
those laser tilts can sometimes be a little bit annoying.
At the end of 14, with a pretty long one, I might actually go for a bit of a cool strap walk, because why not?
Go for it.
And land on this and save. Oh, Okay, that's why I don't go for it.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, you can just barely jump around that railing and make it onto the platform. It doesn't save. It saves probably around like a few
A second.
seconds.
3 seconds maybe.
Yeah,
But it looks
I'd say
cool,
so.
so.
That's
Wasn't
the
that
most important thing.
Who cares? Save time. Just it looks cool. Good enough.
Yeah,
It's
of
all
course.
about how it looks. This one actually does lose a lot of time if you screw up a bit. Because I have... If you let go of rewinding this, you need to rewind it all the way down to there. If you let go of rewinding, you have to just, like, fully reset because you're soft-locked. And I have just lost focus and, like, stopped rewinding multiple times, and
It can
it
be
is
painful.
devastating time loss. Yeah, that's 14. Pretty nice level, all things considered.
Yeah. I think
Not
it's
my
one of the more fun ones to play through on a casual run.
Yeah. Now,
So what's the lore update at this point in the game?
So
yes.
at the moment we're just making our way. We're almost at the entropy device. We almost have enough entropy energy to charge up and rewind the device to save Earth. We just have to get through this last section of puzzles. And we can save Earth.
I did that super clean. What the hell?
Detecting approaching shockwave from the cataclysmic event on Earth.
I'm just gonna take
Yeah, that was really
one,
good.
We should hurry.
I'm guessing
You can skip one of those fans with a well-timed jump, but
I shall refer
I don't
my
Those
usually cut
fans
the...
can sometimes be a little bit annoying because
analysis
even if you rewind them,
although
you
heavily
can sometimes
destroyed,
just end up in the
all
lake and
areas are still functional.
have
I
to
also detected the entropy
lose a
device is almost
good
charged
like
up.
10 or 20
A
seconds.
few more puzzle areas
Yeah.
and it should be ready.
You have
Good
to
hear.
time the jump, because if you just, like, jump too late, and yeah, you just don't actually make the jump. It's weird.
You're doing great.
But
Those
I
fans
still
killed a lot of my runs early on in this game's speedrun history.
figured out a visual lineup, thankfully. That makes the fan skip easy.
I've got it pretty consistently now.
Entropy device almost charged.
These
Folks, we only have
15
around like
Rewind Earth.
we only have around a few more minutes to get those last donations in to see the glitch excavation after this run.
Once it has been rewound.
Yep, not long now before the end of the game.
More positive outcome.
you want to see what a soup jump is, you gotta get your donations in now. Yeah, a lot of these 15 ones are quite long puzzles, which is nice. You can't just jump to the end for any of them, I don't believe.
Not in the no major glitches run, at least.
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure what the route is for this level. I've never speedrun this act no major glitches. Oh wow. That's a pretty cool jump.
Pretty tight jump as well. See if I can get a quick... Ah, no, I'll get
Nice.
that. Drop that on normally. But because of that long path we took, we can bring this laser cube all the way back to the end, into the receptacle and finish.
Nice.
It's a very cool solution.
Yeah, that's really satisfying to watch.
Well, I think there was a new route for this made not too long ago that I haven't actually bothered to learn. It's unfortunate. I mean, it's still a cool route, but I know a faster one. I think Fives developed not too long ago.
There's a lot of possibilities for this level because it gives you one of every type of cube.
Oh, it does. No, I didn't notice that.
I know. A little bit of trivia.
Don't really pay attention to what cubes there are, I guess. Yeah, no, jump cube, pull cube, bounce cube. Oh, is there a normal cube?
That's true, there is no normal cube.
All the silly cubes.
All the silliest cubes. Only the silliest cubes get to be in that level.
This should be the last puzzle area.
So we get back
Once
to
this is complete,
our
the
normal
entropy device
cubes
should have
again.
sufficient energy to be enabled.
Oh, wait, no.
At least we have some transformers.
make them into less boring cubes. This jump is annoying.
You can just
Stop
barely
yourself.
make it up there.
Oh shoot!
Oh,
You can
that
stop
one.
yourself. Yeah, the jump down to that platform. Because you can stop yourself onto this, but you have to whip your mouse like that. There we go.
There
Timing
you
on that's just not too nice sometimes. Here, do a fun little trick called a ping pong, where if you bounce sequentially onto different jump cubes, you slowly gain height. So we're not high enough now, but if we jump across these, should have enough height to get to the end, which is pretty cool.
Congratulations.
And saves having to climb up with more cubes and rewind them all.
Badge has been sent to your
Yeah,
quarters.
that's a pretty cool strat. That was unfortunately patched out in the more recent versions of the game.
We did it.
Who was it?
I knew
Oh.
you had it in you.
Yeah, I believe so.
The entrance
Right,
way
yeah, I
will be at the end of the
rarely
hallway.
play 111, because 80% is not my thing. So,
It's quite a
Not
bit more
sure.
technical than the no major glitches run
oh,
with super jumps.
okay, sure. I don't know why I got a speed from this boost from that chair, but
Yeah. That sometimes, you know, just happens randomly. I've had that happen in a couple places before. I've never gotten it off that chair specifically though. It's a new one.
do a bit of a little trick here that I don't know how much time it saves. You can sort of throw yourself with that. And if you have a bit of speed on the ground, you can carry.
Oh, nice.
I think it probably would save time. Not, I don't
Saves
know
a
how
little bit.
timed it. Again,
Any
that-
time save is a time save.
Exactly. And here's the final E appearance that we are going to completely skip,
Yep.
unfortunately. Instead of dealing with these bots and having E save the day, we just walk around them. I'll look back so we can see E up here. There's E. I don't actually remember what E does. I don't know if she like negotiates with them or like turns them off or E does something.
He just has a little friendly conversation with them,
We're here.
and they
Right.
decide maybe killing humans isn't such a good idea.
almost at the end of the actual gameplay. Not the end of the game,
Enabling
unfortunately,
the
but
Entropy device.
there's no
Still one
real-
more act after this one, but it's not much gameplay.
No. A little puzzle here, I guess. Don't know if you can consider it a puzzle. It's just like a lever flick and wait.
Yep. Nice. Got that lever flick. It's a really tough trick. That's one of the hardest tricks in the run. Press an E on that lever.
Fortunately, it exploded again, so we have to go fix it.
Directive. Travel
Oh,
to the end of
Entropy
the
gun.
Entropy device and proceed with required
And we
Yeah.
can get a small skip for time save here by skipping a trigger.
It's not gonna be easy.
Because if you just take this normally, this slowly like moves up to actually aim at the earth. But if we do it like that, holding W, it will no longer rotate up, and which means we'll just move faster because the slopes are slightly slower.
all that energy.
And now finally we've generated enough entropy energy, and we can finally rewind the Earth.
And bring it back to normal, to a non-exploded state.
We just have to make sure we get there in time.
Yeah, as you can see, it's just, I don't think it is even like close to aimed at the earth, but it is supposed to be.
Yeah,
bit
if
closer.
you hit the trigger there, then it would be aimed up at the Earth. But just pretend it is.
Yeah, it's close. It's looking at the bottom, I guess. Close enough. But
Rewind the entropy device.
there we go. Now we'll
we
start
have
to
to-
fix it.
Yeah, we gotta rewind it. Repairing the device by rewinding it so it can rewind the Earth.
And I get to do nothing here.
It's working.
Get
But
to
yeah, that's
jump around a little bit, lose some calories.
We can also
Looks
remind
like
chat
this is
that
working.
We're being exposed.
we can also remind chat that this is the final time you have to get those final donations in for the exhibition.
It's my
Like we're really getting up close to the end of the run.
I know.
Only a couple more minutes.
Trust me. I think I understand now.
there we go. Earth is finally saved,
Trust you, Arya.
back to normal,
Having this journey with you.
and not blown up.
You, Astra. We did it.
Then one more level, just like a
So we
summary of
rewound
what
the
happened.
Earth. But what happened to us? We're a little bit close to that entropy device. But now time's kind of messed up here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what any of this is about, so if you have any idea, then what is happening here, that'd
The ending
be
to
great.
this game is slightly abstract. But we see all these shadows of our past selves. Yeah,
Turn
this
down the
game has a nice feature where in this last act it ignores all of your audio settings. So
And yeah, it is some
just
very
a little
powerful
warning if you're
music.
playing this casually or speedrunning it.
It is some good music, but yeah, it's just very powerful and very loud. So,
That was fixed in the future versions, but we're not playing on those versions, unfortunately.
we're playing on the broken version.
Because that's the fastest version to speedrun.
Exactly. And now we do nothing for a bit.
Yep.
Fly and then walk into an incredibly slow walking section. Like if walking and doing nothing wasn't enough, we walk at like a tenth of our pace.
Yeah, this is the point where you can just let go of your keyboard and kind of watch things happen. Not much you can do here. I think there is a way to fall out of bounds. The game will still end as normal, but you can just fall out of bounds for some reason. I'm not sure how you do it, though. And then we can see all of those other exploditors over there in the distance.
I think we're gonna go to that little section over there. Except it's over there. Eventually.
Because the Earth has had to be rewound so many times. Because they just can't stop ending the world, I guess.
Here we go.
And then we can move back onto the timeline where Earth is restored.
Yes, this is like full speed walking.
Yep. But we do get CE, I think, on one of these little screens on the side here. For a brief moment.
Oh, can I cut in for a minute?
Yeah?
Yeah.
One final anonymous just donated $26, which means that the entry percent good exhibition has now been met.
Nice!
The very
Right
last
at the
second.
end. That
Good
is
job.
So much. Anonymous.
wonderful.
Thank you so much, Anonymous. And that also brings us to over $600 at 616 as our new total.
And that brings us also to
Here it
Time.
comes. Yay! Nice job.
that was all right. But
Hey, not the best. No crashes.
true, no crashes. That is true. But yeah, I might quickly restart my game so I can open up the better version for the any percent glitch exhibition. If that is okay.
GG's.
Settings should... audio settings should carry over.
143.05. Beautiful.
Not bad.
Nice. I think that's still like third or second place on the leaderboard, so yeah, not bad.
Alright.
Because interestingly, in the first version of the game, there was some glitches that were removed in the second version of the game. But interestingly, there was also one glitch that was added in the second version of the game, which we'll hopefully get to see, which makes
Okay.
this version faster for any percent runs.
Alright. So... do I just start?
Yeah,
Give us
just go ahead.
1 moment so we can
Oh,
get a
what,
timer
good?
started for you.
Ah, sweet. Oh, why did it go to settings? I did not click.
Thank you so much to everyone in chat and everyone who donated to get this met. It was a very last minute snipe on the incentive, and so we're super happy to get that met.
Yes.
All right, looks like we got it up and running for you. Feel free to start.
Right, sweet. Alright, so I am probably gonna go into 06, I think. Oh. How am I gonna start this?
06 would be a good one.
Yeah, we'll go 06. Yeah, that shows off like a decent amount of them. So,
You missed.
yeah, first one I think I'll show off is kicks, which save a bit of time in that section where I had to like walk with the electrical panel, and you can just kick it all the way down.
A lot of the
actually don't
tricks
know-
in this game are also affected by your FPS. Like, for example, kicks, in particular, will be stronger at higher FPSs, but weaker at lower FPSs. So you can adjust your FPS to get the exact distance you need. This intro is going to be a little bit slow to get through, but once we get into the actual puzzle areas, we'll be able to show off some cool stuff.
Yeah. I actually don't know the good FPS for this kick, so...
I'm pretty sure it's about 90. Try that. Maybe 90 to 100. Somewhere in that range.
I'm playing on 120? Okay. If you just do that, you can just throw it... Oh, okay, close. You can just kick it, as I said, all the way down there.
Looks like everyone's
Normally, you
in a
can
hurry.
want to get it over that. And I mean, optimally, you get it into the receptacle down the end, but...
Yeah, you can get it into the little slot there and just rewind it instantly, which saves quite a bit of time.
You can see I'm very much not an 80% runner. So, I may not be 100% good on these, but... Let's take that back. Bring this
Still
through.
cool to be able to show them off.
Show off some others. And I do have the practice mod on, so if I screw up one of the later ones,
Oh, nice.
then that's fine. So I'm just gonna quickly
New puzzle
run through this one real
action.
quick. I could actually just like
Place bridge cube in stationary position to create
There.
bridge to walk across.
pop ourselves over to this one,
There we go.
which I actually I don't even know the route for this one. That's embarrassing.
Well, you have to zero
no, I
bug
do.
the bridge
I do.
cube.
I do. Never mind. So zero bugging is basically you hold on. Forgot how to do this. So you rewind, and if you pause the menu and unhold the click button to rewind, it'll do that. And if you click on something else, for bridge cubes, the thing of it having to be on flat ground is just ignored, so the bridge will always be there.
Yep.
Which means we can just fly over this wall if I ever get it to cooperate. Nope. Please. Oh, that's not enough. Showing my 20% skill. That should be good. But we can... Not exactly that. You can jump up this, hopefully. That's enough? Yep. And just skip to the end.
It's quite a tricky skip, but it saves quite a bit of time, so
as you can see, skip to the end. I definitely didn't mess the end up. And the thing about 111 is there's funneling. So one thing you can do, or funneling with these, which if we jump near, they get pulled to the center. And we can use that to sort of gain a lot of momentum by just jumping and doing like that. I don't know the proper technique, but you can see. I know you're supposed to pause it, but... or freeze it.
Yeah.
Something
All you
like that,
basically
there
have to do to activate it is just grab the jump cube while you're in midair, and you will gain forwards momentum for while you're in midair.
Alright. And now we're going to try an upward kick, I guess. To get it up over there. Hopefully
I
someday.
think maybe you've
I'm
got a
on
little bit
higher
too
speed.
high.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't turn that back down to 60.
I mean, you've got the jump cube too high up.
Oh, true. I'll try and bring that down a bit. There we go. I think I can grab that. I'm gonna...
There you go.
Would I be able to grab that?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. And then soup jumps, which are... basically you... okay, can you... Oh, I'm not gonna be able to grab that, am I? What is it doing?
You rewound it instead of freezing it
Showing my...
or
yeah, I'm...
resetting it.
Okay, that... Oh! Like...
There you
that,
go.
There we go. So now we'll fall down, and we can bring it back up there. So soup jumps are basically super jumps with these, where if you time unfreezing it and jumping, you can get an extra boost off these.
Yeah, you have to press Q and press
Wow.
spacebar and flick your camera, and you can get a maximum height bounce off of them,
Yeah.
which is
And
really
then-
nice.
Can I grab you, please? Okay, good. And then we can do one final glitch, which... Do I need to turn my FPS up for this? I don't remember.
60 is
Or down.
fine.
Okay. We can do a soup glide, which is basically what I showed before with the soup jump, or the gaining momentum. Except I screw it up. That's what happens. Do that. And we just gain a ton of momentum and can fly and bounce it below us and just fly to this elevator at the end and just jump in. That is a soup glide. I probably didn't explain it too well. But you can basically glide with a jump pad to the end of levels. And this will lead us
Pretty sure that's
nicely into...
just I'm pretty sure there's just like an any% IL of Superliminal, right? That's the same thing. You just
yeah,
go into an
pretty much.
elevator at the very- Yeah.
Yeah, like clone.
Detecting breach
Yeah, exactly.
puzzle area 07.
And
Oh yeah,
here
and
in
Act
7,
7 is fun too.
I can show off what I mean by we skip the entire level, basically,
We have been directed
and surf, literally, with this cube.
Breaking the rules.
If we throw it out into the water,
Badass dress.
Yes,
that's pretty
it is
slow. I don't know how to pick this well,
given
but
the circumstances.
that'll do. We can jump like that, and literally just surf it over to this island over here, which is pretty fun. I've got this sort of wonky angle, so it might throw me off.
It's a little bit
What?
tricky because if you get into the water at any point, you just die. So you have to make sure you stay on top of the jump cube
Yeah.
and use it to bounce yourself across.
Oh, that...
Once you get far out enough, though, the water will be completely safe to walk in.
And then... Oh, okay. Thank you. And once again, we can use that funneling. I think it's glide hops. I don't exactly know the name.
There's a
That
couple
I'm
names for
really
it.
bad at.
It's a tough technique to get down, but it's really satisfying once you can get it down and just zoom all the way across with your jump cube in hand, right to the end of the
man.
level.
I am just absolutely throwing this.
Practice makes perfect.
And I have 0 any percent practice.
Oh, look
So
at that.
here,
water.
now that we're at the... Oh yeah, you can walk through water sometimes. It's weird. If it's low enough, we can kick that up again.
Yeah, we're far out enough now that the water doesn't kill us anymore.
Soup jump up again. And if I can grab it. Nope, okay, that was too far out. That's wonderful. Would I? No, okay, I'm just gonna try that again. Should have swapped over to you so you can do this, because I'm not good.
If I had my
Um,
stuff set up, I probably would have.
Let's see if we can actually grab it this time. Here we go. And we
Yeah,
can
this-
go to the end here.
This IL has been pretty harshly contested because of how short it is.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh no.
Thankfully, practice mod. We can just pop a new one in. Pretend you saw absolutely nothing. While I try and get a decent kick like that. And give it one more shot. Where we basically, as they go to the end, and place it in what seems like a random position. But if we now soup up to the end here, like that, and load everything in, pull down, rewind that, that should end up in bounds for us. Which means we can now use it to basically get to the end of the level. I mean, preferably without getting shot, but...
Those bots can be a major IL killer.
I would imagine. And now here, I'm gonna go for the harder strat that I haven't really practiced. Where you can soup glide over, but also place it on the button. Like... almost that. There we go. And now, at the end of the level, how much time do we have? I assume not much.
We're currently at 10 minutes.
Alright. Is there anything else that I should show?
You could show off duplicating, and that would have to be in like 15 or 11.
Do I even remember how to do that? Oh my. Have a live tutorial to me.
It's not that hard. I'm sure you'll get it. Yeah. So for Act 7 in particular, the no major glitches run record is 6 minutes 55, but the any % record is currently 1 minute 53. So doing that skip saves quite a lot of time. So you just hold it out in front of you,
Yep.
and walk into it slightly, and then point your face upwards and unfreeze it
Right. Okay.
so that it falls in between you and the pillar.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah, I don't even know if I can do this, I've just entirely forgotten.
You can also do the other strat where you just slam it against the top of the pillar.
Get onto the pillar.
You would need another jump cube for that.
True. Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna be able to show it off.
Yeah, so how
if
that
you wanna
works
see it-
basically is you can get a jump cube inside the pillar between the two transformers, and then when you take it out, you'll have one of each of the cubes for the separate transformers, giving you 2 cubes where you had one before.
Very
It's pretty
useful.
cool. It's not used very much because there's not very much places where transformers are in such a layout that you can do that. But when there is, we often do use it, as it's pretty useful. Just for basically getting as many jump cubes as possible to take into the next levels.
But yeah, that's. I think that'd be it. Cause unfortunately, I'm not really an any % runner, so I probably didn't do enough
Honestly-
practice on some of these.
The idea of you putting in one cube and then two different cubes coming out, that feels like it should be an intended mechanic. That feels like it's a way to solve a puzzle that was left out in the game. But other than that, if people want to see more of the Entropy Center or more of the two of you, where can they follow you?
Paragon's on Twitch, or Paragon SR on Twitch, and Paragon on YouTube is where you can find me.
You can find me live occasionally on twitch.tv/RanomisedTV with an S, not a Z. And if you want to learn more about the Entropy Center speedrun or have any questions about some of the tech, then you can join the Entropy Center speedrun Discord. That's linked on the speedrun.com page. And we'll be able to answer any questions you have and maybe teach you a little tech or two.
All right. Thank you so much, Paragon and Randomized TV, for that amazing run of the Entropy Center. no major glitches. I'm so excited to have posted for that run, and that was absolutely amazing. I hope that chat enjoyed it, because I know that I did, and good job on chat for getting the annual donation incentive met. Up next is Choo Choo Charles. We're getting into real hardcore horror closing out for the end of tonight. Make sure that you check out some more incentives that we have. For example, the Earthbound Randomizer. We have an incentive to upgrade to 6 sanctuaries. And so that's going to be our next push right there. We're around $50 away from getting that met. Otherwise, stay tuned, and we're going to be back with Ace Delusional running Choo Choo Charles. All right, everybody. I am so glad to have been your host for the past run, but my time for the night is over. Instead, we're going to pass you off over to the absolutely amazing host, Critique Quartz. Take it away, Critique.
Hello everyone, I am Critique Quartz, and this is No Glitches Allowed. You have just watched an amazing run, and we have more amazing runs coming up. Did you know Choo Choo Charles is a game made by one person? That is something I just learned and set up. The runner is very excited to show it off. Ace Delusional will be showing... I'm sorry. And thank you, Oz, for that wonderful introduction as well. But Choo Choo Charles is up next with 100% Glitchless by Ace Delusional. Everybody settle in and get ready for some comfy horror vibes. Up next on the schedule after Choo Choo Charles is a wonderful Phasmophobia-like forewarn run by a team of runners that I'm just very excited to see. They have such great energy, and I've been lucky enough to set them up a few times, but never their hosts, so I can't wait to see what happens with that. And while we are waiting for our next run to get set up, we have I just like to remind everybody, if you're looking to donate, make sure to type !donate in chat to get a link to our Tiltify page where you can make direct donations. We have amazing incentives and bid wars for you to choose from, so make sure to get those donations in and help them get met. One of which is an Earthbound 3 incentive that I have been told that, I'm sorry, not Earthbound 3, Earthbound, that we want to see. It is that Earthbound run is being done by Scott ID tomorrow, and it is a randomizer. Now, if you want to, you could upgrade that to complete 6 sanctuaries. So if you've never seen Earthbound, they are part of the main story where you go around various towns, get some pieces of music, and that's part of the sanctuaries. If you want to see that, you have to get donating. That is going to close before the start of the run tomorrow, so go ahead and get started on that. As of right now, we are sitting at $25 out of the $75 we need to meet that. We have some time, but again, the faster we meet that, the faster we can focus on other incentives. And speaking of incentives and donations, I'd like to tell you a little bit about where your money's going. No glitches allowed. 10 is raising money for Go Rescue, a dog shelter in Norfolk, Virginia. Go Rescue works to provide a haven for homeless dogs, giving them time, care, and the love they need to find not just any home, but the right home. In addition to your monetary donations, Go Rescue is always in need of supplies to keep the puppies happy and healthy. They accept dry and canned food, bleach, cheap paper towels, laundry detergent, furniture, and even vehicles. You can also go to gorescue.com and go to the How Can I Help tab to find their Amazon wish list. Let's help out the pups.